Hey, Todd Burrier from toddburrier.com, and if you're watching this video, it's because you are sincerely interested in getting into your network marketing business, but you really don't feel like you have the time. And so you haven't taken a step in that direction right now because you don't think you can do it. And so I'm going to give you a little insight here. And first, I just want you to be clear that I have no investment in the outcome here. I don't know who you are. I don't know what company you're in. I don't profit in any way, shape, or form, more than likely by your decision. So this is purely to give you some perspective and insight as a third party from someone who's been in the industry for 28 years, successfully for 28 years, and has seen people in all kinds of situations rise and succeed. So I'll give you a little insight because I understand this feeling. When I first started 28 years ago, at the time, I was working in the day at a bank as a secondary mortgage department for commercial lending for a bank where I was placing commercial deals with other banks. And that was an hour commute each way plus my 8 hours there each day, actually 9. So pretty much an 11-hour day. And then 3 nights a week, I would, after dinner, drive 45 minutes and 10 bar to nightclub until 3 in the morning, and then get up in the morning and do it all over again. And we were having our first baby, with a new baby. So that was my time situation. And that was in an age without the internet and without cell phones and without the technology we have today. So there was really only a few specific hours you could be efficient in working the business. So time really was a huge obstacle. Time is not such an obstacle today in actually working the business, and I'll get to that in a moment. But I just wanted you to understand, I get it, I understand it, but I wanted a way out, so I figured out how to do it. And that's the situation that you'll be in once you get a little more context to this. I will tell you one thing that is very promising for you, is if you are so busy you don't feel like you have time, that's an incredibly good sign. Because most people that have become very successful in the network marketing industry look like people, for the most part, didn't have time, right? That doesn't mean they were rich. It just means they were so busy they didn't have time, whatever they were doing. A lot of people fit into that category. And it makes perfect sense because busy people get things done, right? That's why they're busy, because they're active, they're involved, they're networked, they're engaged in life. And so that's sort of a little bit of a leg up. So, provided you're serious, right? Provided you're serious, and I don't believe you'd be watching this video if you weren't. I think you would have been sincere and saying to your friend, hey, or whoever you were talking to, or however that contact was made, hey, seriously, I'm really not interested, instead of saying, I don't have time, as a nice way to not say you're not interested, right? So let's talk about the time thing. So first, I just want to show you something in case you've never seen this before. So this number, 168 hours, right? That represents the amount of time in 1 week, okay? And so let's say that you work 60 hours a week, right? And even if we factor in a commute, that's 70 hours a week, right? So that already takes you down to 98. Now I'm talking 70 hours a week towards work. I hope that's not true for you, and if it is, you need this more than most people. But let's just say, because I'm giving you a lot of latitude here, that's 98 hours are left. Now let's say you sleep 8, okay? You probably don't, but let's say that you do. If you sleep 8, right, so 8 times 7 is 56. You've got 42 hours. Right there is called disposable time. Disposable time, right? Now you might say, Todd, I've got a family, I've got things I'm a part of. I get it. But the point is, these hours are highly controllable, and you can do lots in them. All you need to begin to make progress in this business, in today's world with technology, it's unbelievable what people can accomplish today. I mean, it's mind-boggling. And what takes seconds to do that used to take hours is unbelievable. If you got 5 hours, it's like the equivalent of what I would have needed 20 hours to have that same 5 hours when I first started building my business. That's what that means. So first we have a moment of clarity, is that do you really believe that this is something worth the time? Because that may be the bigger issue, right? Because doers know how to fit things in. They know there's nooks and crannies. They know how to plan. They know how to utilize their time right. They know what's actually a waste of their time. They know that stuff. So do you really believe it's worth your time? And so let me give you some insight there. First of all, do you understand where the industry is? The industry is now 100 million people. It's almost an 80-year-old industry. This industry has been rocking for a long time, even though for many years it was really looked down upon, right? It was looked at as a gimmick or a game or not a real thing, or is that an illegal thing? But the truth is, it's an incredibly bright, smart way to do business. It's a smart way to distribute products. It's a highly efficient way to work, and it is perfect for today's culture and technology and economy where people need opportunities. That's why there's now 100 million people in it, and it's going to triple in the next 10 years. So you're clearly looking at one of the right industries for the future. So then you have to think about the opportunity. Are there people, busy people in that company that you're looking at? Are there busy people making money? All right, people who have busy lives. Because that's just an example that you can too. And everyday people as well. Are there just everyday people building that business? Because that matters. If something can't be done by the everyday person, it ain't going to last. Okay. And then is the company solid? Is there some stability to it? If you're going to invest your time in it, you want it to be around, okay? And then how about the products or service? Are they something that the everyday person would use? Because if they're of need and people like them, you got a winner. And then is there a support structure? So if those things are in place and you can understand that they exist, then you can believe it. It's a real thing and it's going to be here and it's going to succeed whether you do it or not, right? So, and you're a busy person. You know how to get things done. So you know that in the future you'd look back and go, I could have done that. I could have done that. Bob did it, and now look at Bob. I could have done that, right? So if your time is really that crazy, you might need this more than most people, right? Because how else are you going to get your time back? I mean, you're going to work hard in your life. Why not work in a way that allows you to put some energy into some kind of vehicle that can throw off income in the future that gives you your time back? Because that's what this does. But I know we're dealing with your issue of time right now. So let me give you some insights quickly to help you. One, things that you may or may not know, okay? So one is you may not understand the amazing leverage that is available to you. In other words, first you have a sponsor who's essentially, the reason we use the word sponsor is there's responsibility to that. Them sponsoring you, signing you up, isn't putting their children through college, right? It's not making that big a difference to them financially. As a matter of fact, in most companies, it makes no difference that you sign up. What makes a difference is if you begin to have success. So you have someone who has a vested interest in helping you, who becomes a leverage point, who can help you with people, who can help you in situations when you don't have the time, right? So you're not used to that because you don't have that in the traditional environment, right? It's not what's out in the corporate structures. It's pretty much you're on your own. And that is not the case here. This is people helping people. So you have leverage of a sponsor. You have leverage of technology and tools like you cannot believe. What used to take me, like I said, an hour to do years ago, it takes me minutes now, right? You can click a button and send information to someone. You can make a contact with someone while you're on the way to the bathroom because of a text, right, or a direct message. I mean, the ability to communicate and share and be in touch with people is mind-boggling, and that's just now. Who knows what it's going to be like in the next few years? But leveraging tools, mega time leverage in that. And then you have a support system that will be in place that's also leveraged. So you're not going to have to be the all-knowing person because the system that will exist of some sort that provides all that information. So all that leverages your time, and it makes 5 hours be like 20 if you're being active in those 5. Next is you have holes in your schedule. Do you take lunch? You have a lunch break? Do you have nooks and crannies? Right? I bet you do. Right? You have a commute to and from. Right? There's so many little pockets that I know people in this industry who have built $1 million businesses on their lunch break. $1 million businesses, right? Why? Because they wanted to. They wanted to. They didn't want to have a lunch break anymore. So they don't anymore. They lunch where they want, when they want. You have spots that don't naturally think about. You don't need giant blocks of time. And you may be in a situation where you don't have giant blocks of time. You don't need it. You've got 10-minute pieces, 15-minute pieces, 5-minute pieces. They all matter. You can touch so many people in today's world. And I'm sure that your sponsor will show exactly what I'm talking about. And then the other thing to consider is the things that are in your priorities and value system. In other words, one of the things that I do is I teach corporations time utilization skills. I also teach them leadership and big companies too. I get calls and I go in and I do it if I feel like it. But one of the things that I do is I talk about things that are of no value that you're spending time on. And so this is a personal thing, right? But there are things that you probably invest time in right now that aren't getting you any closer to the life you actually want, right? They're not getting you closer to more income or more time, or they're just things you do. Some of them are habitual, right? Because you've been doing them for a long time. And other things are just things you do sort of to wind down, or I hate to say kill time. I just do like that. Just can't stand that concept. But that's, everybody has those. I'm telling you, you put your life in a microscope and you'll be like, oh my gosh, I could take some time there. I could take some time there. It's just about what you care about, right? And this isn't a right or wrong. If you decide you don't care about doing this, then don't do it. But what I'm telling you is if you do care about doing it, you can do it. You can do it. If you really want to, time is not your obstacle. Time it used to be a true obstacle. It is not anymore. Not in today's world. And it's the best way I know to get your time back. So your sponsor can show you exactly how to use very little time to get your business started and help you game plan and show you exactly how they will serve you in having success in your little time, because they're going to be putting time in to match. You got 5 hours and they put 5 hours, you got 10. You sponsor a few people who have 5 hours, now you got 20. You still have the same 5 hours. And I'm just getting started. So I'm not going to take you further. You get the idea. You're an intelligent person. Just because you're seriously entertaining this tells me that. And so I hope that this was helpful for you. I'd love it if you drop me a comment and let me know if it was helpful, or you can come back and comment in a couple months when your business is growing and say, hey, I appreciate it. It really helped me. That would be good for me because it's my mission to serve as many people as I can in the industry. So get in touch with whoever it is that you're talking to and let them know, hey, show me how I can make this happen in the little time that I have. Good luck to you.